What's up everyone, I'm Duncan and welcome back to Magic the Gathering. We are in the last day of the Mythic season, which is why I'm in my dressing gown today, because I just woke up and I realized I actually have to record these deck techs that I've been meaning to record for a long time. So we made it to Mythic, and then we just stopped playing. I think I've dropped from like 96% Mythic all the way to 80-something%, but we don't care. We weren't shooting for top 500 this season just because I've been way too busy. Season ends in a couple of hours, and I'll be doing the brand new season. But to finish off this season, we're going to be looking at the decks in the next couple of episodes that I used to get this high on the ladder. So I used 4-color Degeneracy and Super Friends to get here. Jeskai Super Friends. We're going to do 4-color Degeneracy today because Jeskai Super Friends was my favorite deck of the season, so I really want to show that off last. And 4-color Degeneracy. So this is my take on the 4-color Command the Dreadhorde deck. This is a super powerful deck. I'm sort of... I loathe to say the best deck in the meta because that's a very wide meta. It's a very diverse meta, and there's a lot of good decks here. But this particular build of this deck, I think, is very robust. It often wins game 1. It should almost always win after sideboard. It's got very few bad matchups other than the mirror after sideboard, unless you're playing some really weird niche decks. So the basics of this deck is to explore with your explore package here, gain a bunch of life, have everything die in combat, and then drop a Command the Dreadhorde to bring it all back, including all your Planeswalkers, everything from their graveyard, everything from your graveyard, and then go to like 60 plus life with a massive board state and all these Planeswalkers and just win. I know some people play the Wanderer in this deck to prevent the damage from Command the Dreadhorde. That does work, but I don't think it's really worth the slot. I think the Wanderer doesn't do enough, and you gain enough life from your Explore package unless you get very unlucky that you can absolutely play without it. So I don't play the Wanderer in the deck. The other thing I do play is I play 2 Silver Bullets in the main board. I know that people don't normally suggest this, but I think that with this meta and the way it is, Unmoored Ego is so good in the main board. Against Esper Control, you just name Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Against Jeskai Super Friends, you just name Sarkhan. And against this mirror match, you just name Command the Dreadhorde, and all of a sudden, their deck really doesn't do any of what they're trying to do with it. So to me, the Silver Bullets are worth it in the main board. You give up a couple of other things in your main board. A little bit of Vraska goes into the sideboard instead, but I think it's absolutely worth it. Obviously, your Explore package, the Wild Growth Walker, is the core of that. That's what gains you the life every time you explore. He also gets absolutely huge throughout the course of a game. We've got Merfolk Branch Walker for that 2-mana Explorer, and of course, the Jade Light Ranger, the golden girl of exploration with the double Explore trigger. Teferi Time Raveler shuts down so many decks. The -3 is almost always going to be what you click. It's actually super good because bouncing a creature and drawing a card is such a tempo shift. That's what makes this card absolutely savage. It's amazing against Esper Control because they can't counter your spells anymore. That's huge. And the +1 is actually good in niche situations where you're going to want to cast Command the Dreadhorde in their turn. So you have a really good combat, you block and everything, and then you command the Dreadhorde. Especially in the mirror, if they command the Dreadhorde, you can respond by commanding the Dreadhorde yourself and snatching everything that they were trying to bring back so that they don't get to bring back anything themselves. Vraska Golgari Queen is the Planeswalker I have the least love for in this deck, but she is vital. Sacrificing permanents is awesome. If you've got a couple of creatures left on the field you want to get rid of, you can sacrifice them, you gain the life, you draw cards, which is huge. It can also trigger Massacre Girl, which is actually incredibly relevant. So if you play Massacre Girl and you've got Vraska out and Massacre Girl doesn't go off because, say, they don't have a 1 toughness creature, you can then kill a permanent, and that will trigger Massacre Girl. You kill one of your own creatures, triggering Massacre Girl, and then she'll go off and wipe the board, which is huge if you've got to command the Dreadhorde the next turn. Tamiyo is a linchpin for this deck. She's the reason this deck is so good. That +1 where you filter all your cards into your graveyard, you name Command the Dreadhorde, you could be putting a bunch of Wild Growth Walkers, Merfolk Branch Walkers, Jade Light Rangers, even other Planeswalkers. You could put Teferi in the graveyard, and then bring them all back with Command the Dreadhorde for an absolutely huge turn. The fact that she can -3 to return any card from your graveyard to your hand means that after you've played Command the Dreadhorde, you can also bring it back, so you've got it ready to play again if they wipe your board again. She's just absolutely fantastic, and you should not run this deck without 4 copies of Tamiyo, but she will be sided out in certain matchups because she becomes slower and clunkier and less efficient against certain aggro decks that you just don't want to be that slow against. Finally, in the top slot, obviously, we mentioned Massacre Girl, but we've also got Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Absolutely fantastic card. With the Elder Spell, he can easily ult the turn he comes in. You just bring him in, turn 7, play him for 5, Elder Spell, wipe out their Planeswalkers, wipe out your own Planeswalkers, and then ult Teferi. And it just gives you the inevitability engine that just wins games. So, absolutely fantastic card. I don't think anybody... Daddy Teferi, I don't think anybody is arguing is not a good card. And I think that's as simple as it is. He's just a fantastic card, and you should play him every time you can. The land base is sketchy at best. 4 colors is very, very difficult to achieve. But as you can see, we've got a very efficient mana base, especially when it comes to Planeswalkers. Interplanar Beacon is a lifesaver, but it's a very efficient mana base, but with no basic lands, we're incredibly vulnerable to the pseudo-strip mine deck with the land that blows itself and a non-basic up, and then you search for a basic, and then people play Crucible of Worlds, they bring it back, and they repeat that ad infinitum. We're very, very weak to that deck. Any deck that doesn't play basic lands is weak to that deck, which is a shame, but we can't afford to play basics with 4 color, and so many of our colors required early on. We actually need all 4 colors by turn 3 if we're playing at maximum efficiency. So now that we've gone through this deck in great detail, there will be a deck list, by the way, in the description down below. Quick sideboard note, Narset, absolutely amazing against any control deck. It stops them from drawing cards. Unmoored Ego is our silver bullet against any deck that has a very clear win condition. Another copy of Vraska can come in against certain decks. Ritual of Soot for aggro, of course. Cast Down, again, for creature-based decks that are going too fast for us. We just run Cast Down. And Duress comes in against control. Let's go ahead and get a game. Okay, took a little while, but we have our opponent, Doraine HSVV. HSVV. Mythic 83%. That's the same as me. So maybe he's not played in a while either. Okay, first hand. We've got 2 mana and a Wild Growth Walker. That's kind of what we want. We want to be able to gain life early so that we can hit command the Dreadhorde. 2 mana is not as much as I'd like, but with 25 mana in the deck, I think it's going to be okay. So I can drop this tapped this turn. Next turn, I'll pay the 2 life to play Wild Growth, and hopefully we'll draw one of our explorers or a land here. That's not an explorer or a land, but we're still going to pay the 2 life to drop Wild Growth turn 2. Might be up against Gruul. Gruul is an interesting matchup for this deck, because either Gruul goes fast enough that it kills us, or we go fast, or we go high enough in life that Gruul can never touch us. And it's sort of... Ooh, Cruel Harpooner, okay. Paradise Druid will do, I guess. It lets us drop Teferi next turn, which is bounce and card draw. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. We really, really, really want that Explorer. We really want to hit our land drops. That killing Paradise Druid is huge. That's actually really unfortunate. No blocks. Yeah, we're in a lot of trouble here. We got really unlucky. Can we draw a land, please? There's 25 land in this deck. There is 25 land in this deck. I'm kind of entitled to one at this point. 3 Tamios in a row. We have to just take the damage and hope we get a double Explorer. As soon as we get a double Explorer, this goes so big that he can't swing in with anything in Gruul. And his best removal is Lava Coil in Gruul, so that's going to be game. That is not a good game 1. Yeah, he adapts this into a 4/4. We have to block to not lose the game. We don't draw anything that saves us. Here's the adapt. Yep. Wow, that was gross. That was gross. I kept a 2-lander though. That's on me. There's nothing in my deck that saves me here. Alright, let's see what we can do post-board. That is not a great start. That is not a great start. We don't want Unmoored Ego or the Elder Spell against Gruul. We definitely want Ritual of Soots. We definitely want Cast Downs. We can probably drop 1 Hero of Dominaria. And 1 Tameo. Let's see how this goes. He didn't see any of our deck, so he doesn't know which variant of Explore we're running, and there are lots of variant of Explore. We'll play first. That's 4 land, 2 Explorers. I'll take it. Would have loved a Wild Growth in the lead hand, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers after round 1. We'll just take the Explore with that and the Tameo. Okay? And the Tameo can fetch us Wild Growth Walkers. Pay 2 life. Play this. Probably shouldn't have paid the life, actually. Massacre Girl on top. We'll leave that on the library. I'm very, very happy to play a Massacre Girl and just wipe the board. So, we'll leave that on top. That can be played tapped. We'll play this again. And next turn we've got Vraska. And I think Vraska is a pretty good play next turn. We'll Graveyard Tamiyo. We've already got one. We'll attack. We'll take some life off. Removal? Yeah. That's fine. We're a Commander Dreadhorde deck. We don't really mind about removing our Explorers. Actually, we want Explorers in the graveyard because our Wild Growths get to go off. Goblin Chainwhirler here as a 3/3 first striker. That's a thing. Right. Vraska and then -3, I believe. And then swing. Vraska for the -3 and swing is a fine play. I want to keep the cost down for cheap removal later. It's really good for like Spellbreakers and stuff like that later on. And there's another Chainwhirler. That's going to kill Vraska this time. What are the odds that he'd get another one? But we'll just Vraska again. -3 it again. And kill the Chainwhirler again. I don't mind 1-for-1ing Vraskas for Chainwhirlers. Especially if he doesn't have another Chainwhirler here. If he plays a Spellbreaker and attacks it, then we can do this. I want a Tamiyo and try and find a Wild Growth Walker or Commander Dreadhorde. Honestly. There's a Spellbreaker with haste. Yep. He's killing Vraska. That would be my play too. Okay, cool. Teferi Time Raveler. I just really, really want that Wild Growth Walker. So I'll do this. Bounce this. I'm not going to attack this time. There's a Commander Dreadhorde. I'm not going to attack this time. We're only 16 life and no Wild Growth Walkers, so I really want to resolve Tamiyo here. And draw Spellbreaker with a 1/1 this time. Yep. So we're going to +1 him. And we're going to cast down the Dual Spellbreaker. And now we are going to attack. If he plays a Haster and kills Teferi, that's fine. We drop Tamiyo. I must want him to drop Dual Spellbreaker with haste here. Oh, Rekindling Phoenix. That's problematic. Okay, let's go Tamiyo and let's try and find a Wild Growth Walker. Come on, give us a Wild Growth Walker. Oh, 2 of them. Okay, so that's pretty big. That's pretty big, honestly.
Trust me, I have a plan.
We attack. No, we don't. Because he just... No, we don't. Because he just block the attacker and then he wouldn't lose the token. If he doesn't kill Teferi this turn, that's great because Tamiyo can go graveyard searching. Obviously, we want a Wild Growth Walker into Wild Growth Walker here. Or if we draw a land, we then Wild Growth Walker into Jade Light Ranger and just gain some life. It's not worth gaining the double life quantity. But we didn't draw land, so... Do we have land in the graveyard? We do. So I think we're going to minus Tamiyo, grab a land. Play the land, play Wild Growth Walker.
No tail should be discarded.
Play Teferi, bounce the Phoenix. And then next turn we've got Wild Growth Walker into Jade Light Ranger. He might Lightning Bolt Wild Growth Walker here. Lightning Strike, yep. So we'll minus this into Phoenix now. And next time we're going to be looking for a Commander Dreadhorde with Tamiyo, I think. Yeah, looking for a Commander Dreadhorde with Tamiyo is a very solid play next turn. Or Teferi and bury the Phoenix. Either is fine. Honestly, also Wild Growth into Jade Light Ranger is a good play too, because Teferi stops him from killing Wild Growth at instant speed and we gain some life for our command. Is he going to play with this with haste? He is. He's going to go after Teferi almost certainly. Nope, going after face. Okay. We'll block this. I'm going to gain some life real quick. Ooh, okay. We can't afford to double Wild Growth into a Jade Light, but we can double Wild Growth into a Branch Walker, which is the same life gain, and then we get Jade Light next turn. So I'm going to -3 this. Grab Murfolk Branch Walker.
The story
Wild Growth.
holds our future.
Wild Growth. Murfolk Branch Walker. This is going to give us a lot of life. And he's going to forfeit. So there we go. We're going to game 3. That worked out a lot better. I would have forfeited 2 in his situation, honestly. That life gain puts us well above anything he can do damage-wise. We've got Teferi on board. And then we've got Command the Dreadhorde to bring back everything. And I was just going to drop a Vraska, sack some stuff off, and then Command the Dreadhorde and just win. So I think that was a solid forfeit on his part. I don't blame him for it. But let's see how game 3 goes. Game 1... That luck, game 1, was so appalling. I cannot believe it. Duncan luck is a thing, guys. I know that a lot of people deny Duncan luck exists, but trust me, it's a real thing. He's taking his time over the sideboard this time because he knows what our deck is, and that's expected. That's respectable. Dressing gown's getting a little warm now because I had to close the window. Alright, Doreen, what have you got for me? 83% Mythic we dropped to. I was 96% and I dropped to 83 just through not playing. Mythic, you have to stay on top of it because it's like a showdown ladder. Like, people overtake you, you drop. It's as simple as that. It's an actual Elo ladder, I believe. I believe it's Elo. I don't think it's Glyco Index. It might be Glyco. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Turn 2 Wild Growth into turn 3 Jade Light with a Command the Dreadlord in hand. This is about as good as it could get against Gruul. This is about as good as it gets against Gruul, honestly. This enters tapped. I'm not even going to give up any life. I'll play Interbanner Beacon to play the Jade Light Ranger. I'm not giving up any life if I don't have to. Cruel Harpooner, that's fine. You go ahead and play your Cruel Harpooner guy. Woodland Cemetery into Wild Growth. Ooh, I think double Wild Growth is risky when he's definitely sideboarded in Lava Coils and things. Yep, there's the Lava Coil. That's the best card against this deck. I'm not going to play Wild Growth until turn 5 now. So I'll play a turn 3 Teferi, bounce his Cruel Harpooner, draw a card. I'm going to wait until turn 5, and I'm just going to play these both at the same time. Just because I don't want to get any more Lava Coils on Wild Growths. They are the best part of the deck. So we'll ride out turn 4. Ooh. Hello. Sorcerer's Spyglass for Teferi. Or... Why would you side in Sorcerer's Spyglass against this deck? That doesn't stop Command the Dreadhorde, Wild Growth Walker, Jade Light Ranger. It doesn't stop any of the actual combat. Teferi Time Raveler. Yep, he did. Right. I am going to drop... Whoa, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm still going to wait. I'm still just going to wait. He Spyglassed, right? So he's got no threats on board. This still stops him from casting instant spells to remove my walkers. So I'll just wait. Drop a Shockland next turn. Walker into Jade Light. It's out of range of Lava Coil then. So, Wild Growth Walker into Jade Light Ranger. I'm beyond the range now. And he forfeits. Right, so that's how this deck works. We'll try and play another game because that was quick. That was very quick. So, yeah. Gruul is a really easy matchup for this deck. I don't think we have any issue against Gruul as long as we don't get mana screwed like we did that game 1. But you saw us come back. It's a very, very solid deck, guys. As I said, deck list is in the description down below if you want to try it out. It's definitely going to be my deck for laddering to Mythic next season, which starts in like 5 hours or 4 hours. Getting these videos done last minute. So we're only going to do one more game with this deck because, honestly, I want to be able to show off my Jeskai Super Friends deck as well, which I'm very, very happy with. Okay. Oh, I want to keep it. Last time I kept a 2-liner, it didn't work out for me, but this is so good. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it, and we're hoping for land on top of the library. Because Wild Growth Walker into Jade Light is our ideal turn 3. Yes! Okay. Enters tapped, and we'll do that as a shock land. No, you know what? We'll do this into Wild Growth, and then if we draw another non-shock land, we'll non-shock it. So, Hinterland Harbor into Wild Growth Walker. Awesome. I think we're playing against a mirror, which means our Unmoored Ego is going to be huge. Prison Realm. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But Teferi can bounce it. So if we draw a land that lets us play Teferi, that's great. We can bounce that. We're playing Bant. No Teferi lands. Do I want to play Jade Light Ranger to search for a Teferi land? I think I do. I think I want to play Teferi, the Jade Light Ranger, to try and get that Teferi land. We'll graveyard Hero of Dominaria and Interplanar Beacon. Right, so we've got Teferi next turn. We bounce Prison Realm. We get our Wildgrowth Walker back, which is good. Obviously, bouncing Prison Realm doesn't really help that much. He's going to play it again. He'll scry again, but it time walks us. And maybe it allows us, if we draw well here, it might allow us to explore just once with Wildgrowth Walker out. But Prison Realm is an awkward card. He's playing the Bant Hydra Krasis deck. That's fine. Teferi Time Raveler this turn, bouncing Prison Realm. Or do we go +1? Right, okay, wait. +1, Dominaria next turn. Bury Prison Realm in the deck. Let's go to combat and attack first and see what he does. He doesn't block. Right, well, +1.
Here we go.
Hello. Bury the Prison Realm in the deck, I think, is going to be our play. This is awkward. This is super awkward. Prison Realm is super awkward, but another Wildgrowth Walker helps. We do have Elder Spell here. And then I think I'll bury Prison Realm and I'll bounce Hydro Krasis. Will be the play. Yeah. And that's going to be the end of Teferi, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. He might have a counterspell up. No, he's Prison Realming again. He's going to Prison Realm Teferi? Okay. Alright. So now our play is to bury this Prison Realm. Unfortunately. You're making my life really awkward, guy. Nero, you're making my life real awkward. Let's bury this Prison Realm. Bounce this Prison Realm. Forces him to replay it, and then he has to choose which one he takes out. That works. And we'll go for attack. And we drew another Wildgrowth Walker, so it's fine. He has to choose which Teferi he kills, or he Prison Realms one, kills the other, but then Wildgrowth Walker survives, which is great if we then draw the right thing. So is he going to Prison Realm into Teferi Time Raveler? What's he gonna target with this? If he targets Wildgrowth Walker, that's fine. We've got another one. If he targets Time Raveler, that's fine as well. He targets Wildgrowth Walker, that is fine. That is actually fine. Overgrown Tune untapped. Let's just play Wildgrowth Walker and Tamio to grab back Hero of Dominaria. I think we grab back Hero of Dominaria here. Keeps him under control. I like it. So we'll go Wildgrowth Walker. And then Tamio. -3. Grab back Hero of Dominaria. Hero of Dominaria can bury a Prison Realm. Sorry, excuse me. And all this is doing is keeping him playing Prison Realm, playing Prison Realm, playing Prison Realm, and stopping him from doing anything to stop me, basically. So it's just, it's keeping him on the back foot constantly. He's attacking Tamio. He's playing Prison Realm. And then when I command the Dreadhorde, I'm going to drop a Hero of Dominaria. I'm going to drop, you know. See, this is why Ixalan's Binding is better, I think. What's he taking? Is he taking Wildgrowth Walker? Yes. Okay. That's fine. Ooh, wow. 3 Prison Realms. Unmoored Ego is going to be really fun against him game 2. Like, Unmoored Ego is going to be really fun against him game 2. I'm really looking forward to that. We -3. We get this back.
I'm not ready for this quite yet.
We minus Teferi, and we get the Wildgrowth Walker back. Just force him to spend all his mana playing these cards again. And we attack. And then next turn we can drop another Teferi and just start this whole sequence again. Because he's going to attack Hero of Dominaria. And this is not bad for us. Okay, this is actually not bad for us. So he's going to attack Hero of Dominaria. He's probably going to kill Teferi Time Raveler. He's going to replay Prison Realm, taking this. We're going to play Time Raveler. No, we might...
Rise, my elemental friend.
We might just play Overgrown Tomb, command the Dreadhorde, bringing back our Planeswalkers, Elder Spell, and Teferi ult. I think that's our play. Yeah, that's our play. He takes out both our Planeswalkers. Yep. He takes out both our Planeswalkers. We Overgrown Tomb, shock ourselves, command the Dreadhorde. Wait, cancel. I need to keep 2 black up. Yep, that keeps 2 black up. We command the Dreadhorde, we take Teferi Hero of Dominaria, that's 5 damage. 6, 7, 8 damage. 12 damage.
I know my responsibility.
-3 this to bounce. This to hand.
Might be a bad idea.
We minus this to bring this back.
I have learned
We
much
Elder
from
Spell,
my ancestors.
killing this. Yes. And yes. Submit 3.
The village has been compromised.
We ult Teferi.
I'm sorry.
And we just start exiling things. Awesome. Awesome. That's solid. That's a solid play sequence. We took a lot of damage, but we just start exiling everything as of next turn. He has to kill Teferi here, but then we just play another Teferi. That's going to bounce something, and it's going to give us an exile trigger, because we draw a card. If he doesn't kill this Teferi, then we +1 this Teferi. Like, if he tries to attack overhead. And we're going to get back our Wild Growth Walkers. We're going to play an Explore card that we're going to draw, because we're doing all this card draw. And we're going to gain all our life back for a big Command the Dreadhorde again. And then we're going to just bring back all our Planeswalkers. Prison Realm. Okay, Prison Realm on this Teferi. Or on the Wild Growth Walker. On the Wild Growth Walker. I'm just going to exile that when I draw a card, dude. I'll exile your flyer first, obviously. But then I'm going to exile that when I draw the next one. And you're just going to have to keep replaying it. Prison Realm on Teferi. Or on this. Ooh, he might swing at face. That'd be great. If he swings at face, that's great. You can't kill me. 5 damage is not enough. 5 oh no, he's going to do 3 to face. Okay, that's fine. Cool.
That's how we met.
Exile target permanent opponent controls. This one. And he's actually done us a favor by doing this, because now we can play this. Gain a life.
I am not going to see this.
Bounce this.
Oh, I've done the hero thing.
Before, order this trigger first. Right? So done. This trigger first, deleting this. That's going to give us our second Jade Wild Growth Walker back first. Then this will... ooh, Vraska? No, Graveyard. Then this will trigger Library. Nice. Nice. And then... ooh, the life gain. Ooh, clean. And then we'll Interplanar Beacon. Yeah, and he forfeits. Well, that was a really cool play sequence. That was a really, really cool play sequence. Command the Dreadhorde into Elder Spell. We're definitely going to take Unmoored Ego here. Because I want to Silver Bullet out those... I don't think Vraska does much for me here in this matchup. I don't think Tamiyo does as much. So that's for the Unmoored Egos. Elder Spell is niche here, but I'm going to keep the 1 Silver Bullet in just because I want to be able to take out the Nisses. But I don't think we want Ritual of Soot or Narset. Narset instead of 1 Teferi. Yeah, let's go 1 Narset instead of 1 Teferi, because she can search for Unmoored Ego, which is good. She searches for Tamiyo, she searches for Teferi. She can search up my Elder Spell. She stops him drawing off a Hydroid Krasis. Let's try this. Let's try this as our sideboard. I don't know what he's going to sideboard. Obviously, that's always the question. But we managed to win game 1. So, Super solid. Let's see what happens. Alright. I don't know why I'm Nicol Bolas for one thing, and then... Alright, so this is a decent hand. Tamiyo's good here to search for a couple of our explorers, and I don't think he's got much removal other than those things. And I want my unmoored egos here. I really want my unmoored egos. ASAP. I'm going to go turn 2 Wild Growth, turn 3 Teferi, turn 4 Tamiyo at the moment. But I really want my unmoored egos here to go searching for those Prison Realms. Search for Prison Realm with the first one, Nissa with the second one. Okay, my turn 3 just changed to a Merfolk Branchwalker, but that's fine. Turn 4 is still Tamiyo. Is he going to bounce this?
This isn't a fight you can win.
Yeah.
I am not making
Okay,
some
that's
fight.
fine. Turn 3 is now Teferi. He's ramping. Turn 3 is now Teferi. With a +1, no more instants.
Thank me later.
Turn 4 is now Wild Growth Walker into Merfolk Branchwalker, which is fine. And then turn 5 will be Tamiyo,
I've got it.
which is also super fine. I'd really like one of my unmoored egos, but I don't want to give him another Arboreal Grazer trigger, so I'm not going to bounce it. Let's go Wild Growth Walker into Merfolk Branchwalker. That puts it above a lot of removal in the format. It's +1 Teferi again. Next turn, I'll return Merfolk Branchwalker and play it again, I think, rather than playing Tamiyo. That works. He'll... no, he's going to +1. Okay, cool. And then he's going to play that. He's going to minus to bounce the Wild Growth Walker, which is absolutely fine. Yep, that's fine. I'm going to get more triggers. I'm going to gain more life, and that's all I'm looking to do right now. Okay, wait. How much mana do I need for this? If I play this... Wild Growth Walker into Jade Light Ranger. That's perfect. And the next turn, I can bounce Jade Light Ranger and play it again. And these just get big. And Teferi's on 7, which is really nice. No attacks. So next turn, I'll bounce the Jade Light Ranger, play that again, and make him bigger again. And he's got to tick up again, all over again. And
Here we go.
Prison Realm is the only real problem here. An Unmoored Ego will completely shut down Prison Realm, so that'll be great. Nissa who shakes the world. Okay, that's fine. We're going to be able to punch her in the face. So I'm actually fine with that. He's not Prison Realming this turn. So Wild Growth Walker's going to get bigger. I'll swing with everything at Nissa, I think. I want to lower Nissa down. I think I bounce the Branch Walker instead of the Jade Light Ranger because 3 damage in the face means that if he blocks, he loses Arboreal Grazer. But then equally, I could just bounce Arboreal Grazer and kill Nissa. So there's lots of things I could do here.
Nature's true power.
Okay. What do I want to do here? I could bounce the island, play another Teferi, bounce Arboreal, kill Nissa. And I think that's my best play. It draws me 2 cards. Let's bounce the island.
I've got time.
Play Teferi. Wait. Yeah, play Teferi. Ooh, the play sequences in this game have been pretty good. They've been pretty fun. New Teferi replaces old Teferi.
I know my responsibility.
Bounces Arboreal Grazer. Draws us a new card.
I'll protect you.
Now we unmoored Ego. Naming Nissa, because that's his win con. I don't actually care at this point about the, I don't care about the thingy. Opponent's hand. Nope. Opponent's library. 3. Graveyard. Nope. He's got mass manipulation here. That's a problem. Okay. And he forfeits. Well, there it is. That was game 2 with this deck. As you can see, this deck is incredibly robust, incredibly diverse, and can do a lot. We actually didn't command the Dreadhorde huge combo off at any point, but I promise you there are huge combos with Command the Dreadhorde where you shoot to like 90 life. It's awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you like the deck, remember, check it out in the description down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!